Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about the most incredible engine you will ever own, your heart. We're going to uncover the amazing story of how this thing actually works. So, let's start with some perspective. Your heart weighs only about 350 grams. I mean, go ahead, make a fist right now. That's pretty much the size of it. Kind of small, right? Well, don't let that small size fool you for a second. This little muscle has some serious power. Every single day, it pumps over 2,000 gallons of blood. To put that in perspective, that's enough to fill a small swimming pool. Every single day. So, how in the world does it do all that? Well, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll look at its main job, peek inside its 4 chambers, follow a drop of blood on its wild ride, find out what makes it beat, and wrap up with why the heart is just so important. Okay, let's jump right in. First up, the body's relentless engine. What is this thing's core mission anyway? So at its most basic level, the heart is just a really, really powerful pump. Think of it like a super efficient delivery and trash service for your entire body. It drops off the good stuff, oxygen and nutrients, and then it hauls away all the waste like carbon dioxide. And you know, this vital organ is super well protected. It's tucked away safely in your chest, right between your lungs, sitting just a little bit to the left. Pretty secure spot for such an important piece of equipment. All right, so we know what it does. Now let's go inside and take a tour of the heart's architecture. Okay, the easiest way to think about this is like a house with 4 rooms, or chambers. You've got 2 on the right and 2 on the left. The right side is all about handling the oxygen-poor blood that's just come back from its tour of the body. The left side, that's the VIP section for the fresh, oxygen-rich blood that's just come back from the lungs. Now this is where things get really cool. Look at the difference between the 2 lower chambers, the ventricles. The right one? It just has to give the blood a little push next door to the lungs. No big deal. But the left ventricle? That's the powerhouse. It has the massive job of pumping blood to your entire body, all the way to your brain and down to your toes. That's why its muscle wall is so much thicker. It needs that extra oomph. So with all this pumping, how does the blood not go the wrong way? Well, the heart has these 4 amazing one-way doors, or valves. They swing open to let blood through and then snap shut right behind it. It's a perfect system to make sure there's absolutely no backflow. Okay, we've seen all the parts. So how do they work together? Let's follow a single drop of blood and see this amazing journey for ourselves. Okay, our little drop of blood is back from its trip around the body, and it's tired. It's low on oxygen. It first enters the right atrium. Then it goes through that first valve into the right ventricle. From there, the ventricle gives it a good push, sending it out through another valve and off to the lungs to pick up more oxygen. It's like a pit stop. And it's back, freshly oxygenated and ready to go. Our drop of blood now enters the left atrium, then flows down into that super strong left ventricle. And then, whoosh, it gets blasted out into the aorta, the body's main highway, to deliver all that precious oxygen everywhere it needs to go. And just like that, the whole cycle starts all over again. I mean, this whole mechanical pump thing is just mind-blowing, right? But it raises a really big question. What's the spark? What actually tells the heart muscle, hey, it's time to beat? Well, the answer is pretty incredible. The heart has its own built-in electrical system. It's like a tiny, invisible pacemaker that keeps the whole show running. And this is how that electrical spark travels. It starts in a spot called the SA node. That's the natural pacemaker. The signal then hits the AV node, and this is key. It pauses for just a split second. Why? To give the ventricles time to fill up with blood. Then the signal zips down the middle and spreads out through these special fibers, telling the ventricles to squeeze. And that's a heartbeat. Okay, so we've seen the plumbing and the wiring. Now let's zoom out and talk about the big picture. Why does all this matter so much? Here's the bottom line. Pretty much every single thing that keeps you alive depends on the heart doing its job. It's not just about moving blood. It's about delivering oxygen, keeping your blood pressure stable, and swapping nutrients for waste. And get this, the heart is so important, it even has its own personal fuel lines, the coronary arteries, just to keep itself going. And think about this, while you're just sitting there, relaxing. This entire incredible cycle, the blood's journey, the electrical spark, everything, is happening between 60 and 100 times every minute. Do the math on that. That's more than 100,000 times a day. Over 100,000 times, this amazing engine performs that perfect, life-giving journey. It literally never stops working for you. Not for a second.